Hey guys, I'm coming at you with a really quick Simplify OpenTX tip. In this episode, we're going to have a look at how to set up a mix so you can use both the aileron and rudder gimbals to control the rudder. This would be useful for something like a small 3-channel plane or a 2-channel glider. Let's get on with it. Right, so again, we'll fire up OpenTX and we'll load our model. And this is already set up, so what we'll have in here is our standard inputs. These are obviously the gimbals and just mapped to an input channel. And then we have a standard mix. So this is for a 4-channel plane with ailerons, elevator, engine and rudder. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to delete the ailerons and the throttle. If you're using like a 3-channel plane, you obviously keep the throttle in, but I'm doing this for Dave because he's got a DLG glider which has only got 2 channels, and he wanted to use the aileron stick and the rudder stick to control the rudder, just in case there's an issue with muscle memory, that sort of thing. So both of them will work. So all we need to do is add in another line in the channel 4. We'll just call it aileron. And then we just set this up to input aileron, which I've no doubt gone past. Not channel, input aileron, and okay. We'll leave multiplex to add, and that's it. So that's it. That is it basically set up. So if I simulate, what you'll see is we have our output on channel 4, which is the standard rudder. The rudder will work. It goes to plus and minus 100 within reason. And the aileron also works on the same rudder channel. I can't do it. Actually, is there a hold on this? Hold stick position. There we go. So if I move that over there, can we actually see outputs? If you're looking at this on a Tyrannus itself, what you'll notice is that if you move this over, so say we move this over to 50%, and now if we move the rudder over to 50%, it adds to it. So we'll put that sticky on there. So if we leave that at 100%, you'll notice that, well, if we put this to 50, sorry. There we go. So you'll notice that we're at 100% because both of these sticks are moved halfway. That's because it's adding the inputs for both channels together. So ideally, you want to use either or. The only way to get around this, so you can only use one at a time, is by assigning a switch, which I'll show you how to do, which again is really simple. But if you want it so that you literally just pick it up and use whichever stick you want to use, then this is the way to do it. But if you use both sticks, it will add the 2 numbers together. It won't go over the 100. So we put those both up to 100. You'll see that the output channel is only it's at 98 for some reason. It must be on the outputs settings in here somewhere. Let's have a look. So we go to the output screen. Maybe it's yeah, it's got all this minus 97. That's for iNav. So that's why it's doing that. If I go down to rudder and reset, it's now 100%. So that's sorted that out. I'll go through and sort those out properly later. So you can see we're at 100% even though the mix is at 200. And if I drop this back down to the middle, which I'll free that up, you'll see this is still at 100% because this is. So it won't overdrive the servos, but you gotta, if you're using both sticks, it's effectively like you've got like a reverse expo on it. So if you're both at 50%, it will actually be full power. Sorry, full deflection. So you only want to use one at a time. But the way to ensure that is to use a switch. But if we delete this here, it's probably better to do it in the inputs, because you're actually defining which physical input is controlling it, and then the mix is just the rudder. So what we'd have here, so again we'd delete that and we'll delete that. So we have our rudder, and we can edit that, and then we put our switch in here. So there we go, SB down, and then we can duplicate that, double click, change the input source to the aileron stick, which is there, and then we'll put this to not SB down. So this will work in the same way, but on the mix you just have a rudder. So because the switch is actually defining the input, this is the better way around to do it really. But it will work in exactly the same way. So SB in the middle, the rudder won't work, but the aileron will. And SB down, the rudder will work and the aileron won't. So that's the ways to do the switch. As I say, doing it because we're actually switching which physical control we want to use, doing it in the inputs is the right place to do it rather than in the mixes. And then again, if that way you can add one set of like expo in the mix or one set of rates. You don't have to duplicate them here. So we can do that. I'll show you how to do it here. So if we go in edit, and then we can just add expo here, we'll say 35% expo. And then what we can do is put this on a switch, I don't know, say SC. So in the up position, we're 100%, okay. Duplicate, edit this. We'll leave that as it is. We'll put the weight to, I don't know, 60%. And SC in the middle. And duplicate that again. And put it at 30%. And SC down the bottom. These are just theoretical values. But as you can see, we only need to do this once. If we had the aileron down here as well, we'd need to duplicate the expo and the rates. So SC's in the middle, so we're actually we'll put that on the rudder. You can see our rates is at 60%. So our outputs are going to 60%. And again, if I do it on the aileron, it's the same. If we put that to there, we'll get what, 30%? Oh no, that's up, so that's 100%, 30%, and then on the rudder, 30%, 100%. And of course the expo is working the same way, so both of these have the same expo curve. So that's how you do it on the switch. The one thing I will mention is if you want them both working at the same time without the switch, you will have to add this to everything, because unfortunately there's no multiplexing in the input screen. So if you put both of them like this without a switch, they won't work. That's just the way it goes. So if you wanted both channels working at the same time, you'll need to duplicate all these rates and expos. That's the downside. But there you go. That was a quick 2 or 3 channel video, and I hope you guys found it useful. A thumbs up would be great. Again, a subscription and clicking the notification bell will get you updates for when the new videos are out. If you didn't like the video, you can use a thumbs down, but please leave in the comments why you chose to leave a thumbs down so I can make the videos better. Until next time, keep flying. Fly them like you stole them, and have a great time, people. Goodbye.